Meet my never lucky Iron Man, forks only, no spoons allowed here. After maxing my main and nearly maxing my Iron Man, I wanted to try something new. RuneScape with getting unlucky on every grind in the game. If I get any drop before the drop rate, I can't use or keep it. Valuable items will periodically be given out to viewers and subs. My goal is to complete the Inferno, and I'm not going to stop there. Please subscribe to my only forks. I mean, forks only. What is up, gamers? FCast and Chill here. So my last video was a Chambers of Xeric loot video, and I am going to make a guide for doing solo Ulm, and that should be my next video that comes out after this one, but that's not what I'm going to talk about today. We are back with my hardcore Iron Man, forks only, and last time, if you remember, I started mining sand. So I have a hard clue in my bank that I need 70 crafting to complete. And I can get 66 and then use the +4 boost from the pie. So that's going to be the goal. Remember, I want to complete this hard clue because a lot of the Slayer monsters drop hard clues, and I would like to finish the one that I already have in my bank before getting started on Slayer. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to keep mining the sand here, and we're going to try to get some crafting levels. So yeah, let's get into it. And you can see there, I now just got 60 mining, so that's pretty huge. With that, I'm gonna take a break now, and let's go over here, and you can see that there are over 4,000 buckets of sand here, and I'm gonna claim the 3,000 buckets that I've already put in. So remember, these cost 50 coins each, so there's 150k down the drain. If we check, he still has about 1,300 buckets for me. But 3,000 buckets of sand, that's going to go quite a ways. So if you remember before, I mentioned that I need to finish the quest Lunar Diplomacy, and that's going to allow me to use Super Glassmake, which will allow for more efficient crafting training. But since I haven't finished that yet, I'm just going to go and burn some more giant seaweed on the fire below Birth Rope and use that to get Soda Ash. So Lunar Diplomacy requires 61 crafting to complete, and that's a non-boostable requirement. So I need to, burn enough soda ash or seaweed here to get soda ash to get my crafting to 61. And so that's what I'm going to do for a while. Just going to get the soda ash along with those 3,000 buckets of sand that I have, and hopefully that'll be enough to get us to 61 crafting. And several hours later, after hanging out at the Edgeville furnace making my glass and blowing it, here is my 61 crafting. So that's it. I got all the requirements I need for Lunar Diplomacy, and I think I'm going to take some time to do some quests now. I know before I mentioned that I do want to get a quest cape on this account. I think it would be really cool to get a quest point cape on a hardcore. So let's go knock some quests out. I still have a ton to go. So first here you can see that I'm completing Clock Tower, Sheep Herder, below Ice Mountain. Here's Rag and Bone Man 1, that one took a while. Here's Scorpion Catcher, Tribal Totem, the Soul's Bane. Here's the next Ham quest in the quest line. And then now with all those out of the way, I think I'll go do Lunar Diplomacy. Really, I'm just knocking off the various quests that I never got around to earlier. But yeah, let's go do Lunar Diplomacy. It's a pretty long quest. And a bit over an hour or two later, here's Lunar Diplomacy completed. And this is just super exciting for me for two reasons. One, I now have access to Astral Runes, which are really useful for a lot of things. And then two, I have the Lunar Spellbook. So if I just use my, go up and pray at this Astral Altar, it swaps to the Lunar Spellbook. And then we can use Super Glassmake to make some glass. Let me show you how that's done. So here we go, I'm on the Lunar Spellbook here. You can see I have 18 buckets of sand and 3 giant seaweed in my inventory. And then when I cast that, you can see I get a shit ton of molten glass. There's even some on the ground as well. So it gives you a random number, but it gives you a lot. And so right now I'm on my bank, and I'm just gonna keep doing this. Just keep depositing it in the bank and picking up what's on the ground. The most efficient way to do this, I need to play around with the menu entry swapper, because as you can see right now, I have it on the X in my bank instead of all. So if I just click, it'll withdraw 18 because I need 18 sand and 3 giant seaweed. So what I'm going to do is actually use my menu entry swapper so that if I hold down shift, it'll deposit everything that when I click on something, but when I click, it'll just withdraw or deposit 18. And then if I hold down shift while withdrawing, it'll just withdraw 1. And so that'll make this a lot more efficient. So let's show what this looks like with efficient super glass make training. And so you can see here, I am very quickly now depositing all the glass in my bank, grabbing 3 seaweed and 18 sand, casting super glass make, depositing everything again, grabbing 18 and 3, casting it. Too bad there's a little delay after you cast super glass make before you can open your bank again, or else this would be a lot faster. But yeah, using menu entry swapper is very helpful because it allows me to do this in much fewer clicks. And so I'm just gonna hang out here for a while and go through all the sand that I have. Still a ton of seaweed, ton of sand, and once I do all this and then blow everything, hopefully that's enough to get me to 66 crafting, and then we can get a boost for the hard clue step that I need. So yeah, super excited. I'm actually really happy I'm gonna get to start training Slayer soon, because I've been putting it off for so long. Not a huge fan of Slayer in general. I think it can be a little boring, some of the early levels, but it's so important for progress, and so I'm excited to get into it. But anyway, just gonna keep doing this super glass make, and yeah, I'll see you guys back in a couple hours. Alright, and quite a while later, I have now made enough glass to where I can just blow the rest of it, and that should get me to 66 crafting. So now I'm just gonna sit here and blow glass for a long time. Luckily, glass blowing is pretty slow. Once you start blowing an inventory, it takes quite a while for it to go through. So it's a great option to do during work or maybe even video editing. So yeah, this is gonna take a while, but you know, let's just get through it and get some crafting levels. The XP is pretty good. There's 62 crafting, 63, 64 crafting, 65, and 66. There we go. So that's what I needed for the +4 boost for the hard clue. So now I need to go get a +4 crafting boost. And I could use spicy stews like I did before for some of the other skills, but there's actually a way to get a guaranteed +4 crafting boost. And that's through making a mushroom pie. So I need to go chop the trees on Fossil Island, or rather the mushroom tree. And so I'm gonna get my inventory here. I need a rake to rake some of the weeds. I need anti-poison and then some food to eat up. So the way this works is there is a mushroom tree somewhere in the swamp here. And when you go to it and start chopping it, after chopping it for a while, it will randomly move to another location. And then you just have to follow it around until you actually, get enough of what you want. And so I'm gonna cut this Solisep tree, and whenever you cut it and get a wood cutting XP drop, there's a 1 in 100 chance that you get a Solisep cap. And so that's what you need to make the crafting pie that gives you the +4 boost. So I'm gonna actually sit here and count my XP drops to make sure I get 100 before I get my, oh, it already moved. That's a little unfortunate. Well, let's go find the new one. But I'm gonna have to sit here and count my XP drops and make sure I get 100 before I get the cap, because if I get it earlier than that, then that's getting something before drop rate, and that's not allowed. So I'm just gonna run through the swamp, follow this mushroom tree around, and just keep chopping it for a while. It's actually really good wood cutting XP too, but I'm already pretty high wood cutting, so I'm not too concerned about that. But yeah, just gonna spend some time. Wow, it moved again already. Okay. That's a bit unlucky, but it's all good. I'm just gonna hang out here for a while and get some woodcutting XP and hopefully get what I need to make a mushroom pie. So I'll see you guys soon. Alright, and then about 15 minutes later, I have now chopped over 100 trees and I got this cap. So that wasn't too bad at all. Yeah, I think that's all we need now. So now we can just go over to Lumbridge and make the pie. If you cook it on the Lumbridge range, I think it has 0 chance of burning at my cooking level. So that's exciting. Yeah, let's go make that and then we will be able to get our crafting boost. All right, here I am in Lumbridge and you can see I have my uncooked mushroom pie now. So I'm gonna come up and cook it on the range here. And like I said, this should have a 100% success rate, and there we go. And now you can see there's that +4 crafting boost. So I already have the gold bars and diamonds that I need, as well as the ball of string, so I'm going to use all that to make my amulet of power, as well as a diamond ring, which are the two things that I needed for this hard clue. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're just going to head to Edgeville, and I'm going to get ready to eat my pie and go on this furnace. So you can see the hard clue here requires diamond ring, amulet of power, and then nothing on my chest and legs. So that last one's easy, I just unequip stuff. But for this one, I'm gonna stand right here, eat my pie, and then here we go. I'm gonna make the diamond amulet, and then I'm going to thread it. Well, I'll go ahead and make the diamond ring too while I'm here. All right, there we go. And that was what I needed the crafting boost for. So now I'm just gonna put the pie back. I'm gonna put the ball of wool on my amulet. I don't know why I pulled out a second one there because I already had one. But yeah, now I'm just going to grab the runes that I need for enchanting this to make the amulet of power. And there we go. I got an amulet of power, check, and the diamond ring. So now I can finally do this hard clue that's been sitting in my inventory or in my bank for weeks. And then I can get to training Slayer, so super excited. The crafting levels are always good too. Like I said before, I'm going to eventually need 87 crafting for the Amulet of Anguish with the +5 boost. But yeah, let's see if we can actually knock out our first hard clue now, because if you remember before, I never completed one because they kept giving me wildy steps. But yeah, let's go do this clue. So if you remember from before, I actually had already done 4 steps on this hard clue. So really I just need to do, 1 or 2 more. The clues will have anywhere between 4 and 6 steps to complete. And since I've already done 4, this very well may be the last step. So here's the emote, and you can see there's the double agent that comes out. So I'm just going to equip my gear and finish him off. Shouldn't take too long. And there we go. He is now dead. And you can see here I got a hard casket. So let's open this bad boy up and see what we get. All right, ancient page and some rune items. So I can't keep any of that, obviously. That's my first hard clue. And those are not guaranteed drops. But the rune items I can actually give away to you guys because they're worth a little bit, so that's nice. And the ancient page itself, I definitely can't keep. But, that's all good. Happy to get my first hard clue completion done. Many more where that came from. I'm sure that, as I get more and more levels, the clues will be easier to complete, and as I train Slayer, I will be able to do plenty of hard clues, and so hopefully we can get some of those big ticket items. And remember, after I complete 6 of them, I'm allowed to keep any black dragon hide that I get from it, because that's what I really want right now. I want the black D-hide chest and legs, but 6 hard clues is quite a ways off. But anyway, yeah, you can see the rune plate, skirt, and kite shield come out to about 70k total, so something nice to give to you guys. Alright, cool. And now that we got that out of the way, I think it's time to finally train some Slayer. So a while back for the Lumbridge Diary, I got a Slayer task from the Slayer Master in Zenaris, and it was actually a big blue dragon task. So I am heading over to the Taverley Dungeon. I have my Ivan's Blast staff. I have 70 agility now, so I can just go through this pipe, which is super convenient. And then I'm just going to run back into this corner and put Ivan's Blast on autocast, and then go find a world where there's not already somebody safe spotting these guys. Alright, that took longer than I was expecting. This is a really crowded area, I guess, right now. But yeah, now I can just hang out in the corner here and use Ivan's Blast on these blue dragons. And you can see they're just getting totally shredded because Ivan's Blast is extremely powerful. Very expensive because of the death rune cost, but also very powerful. And I think my task was something like 127 of these guys. So yeah, I'll probably be here a while. Oh, not 127, 159. I don't know why I thought 127. But anyway, I'm going to pick up all these dragon bones too, because I'm going to try to rush 70 prayer. Again, I really want to get 70 prayer for Barrows, because completing the Mauritania Hard Diary will allow me to get 50% more runes from the Barrows chest. And I think that that's going to be extremely useful, because I'm going to do that Barrows grind pretty soon. And so each one of these dragon bones will help immensely in getting toward that goal. So this is a great task for me right now. Again, expensive with the death runes, but I'm really happy to get a bunch of nice bones from it. And honestly, the Slayer XP is going to be insane. I'm only 25 Slayer, so yeah, we'll see how it gets me. But I think that I'm going to just hang out here and get some Slayer levels. So here's 26 Slayer, and 27, 28, 29 Slayer, 30 Slayer, and then 31, 2, 3, 4, so many levels just off of this one task. 35 Slayer and 36 Slayer, and you can see there's only 4 more dragons now left in my task. So wow, that was a lot of XP on Slayer just from a single task. I got a ton of dragon bones too, so that was super nice. I'm really happy to have that knocked out, and let's just keep going and maybe get another Slayer task and see what it is. Before that though, I want to talk about how I plan on training Slayer. So you can see that's my 3rd task that I've completed here. And so Slayer, when you complete streaks of tasks or certain tasks, you get a lot of points. And Slayer points are useful for a lot of various things, like blocking certain Slayer tasks, some unlocks like the Slayer helmet or broader fletching. There's a ton of really useful stuff that you can get from Slayer points. And Slayer points can kind of be a pain in the ass to get early on in an account. So I'm going to do something called Turiel boosting. So there's a Slayer Master Turiel who has very easy tasks to do. And so Turiel is in Birthrope, and his tasks are just incredibly easy and quick. So what Turiel can do is he can give you easy tasks. You can complete them to get your streak up. And then every 10 tasks, when you get a massive bonus to Slayer points when you complete them, then you can go to a high-level Slayer Master like Konar, Neve, or Duradel, and then use that to get a nice Slayer task, Slayer point boost. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick at Turiel for tasks 1 through 9, go to Konar for task 10, go back to Turiel for tasks 11 through 19, go to Konar for task 20, and so on. And I'm just going to keep doing that to get a bunch of Slayer points. I don't know how long I'm going to stick with that, how many Slayer points I need, but I think it's a great way to train Slayer early on. And yeah, so the problem with that is it's not very easy to get to Turiel quickly, especially with the limited items that I have. And so there's a couple ways I can get there. You can use a games necklace to teleport to Birthrope, and that's really nice. I can just use that, tele you straight there. And then the other thing is you can use a combat bracelet to teleport to the Warriors Guild. So the combat bracelet is a better option since it's rechargeable, and I would only need to make 1. The games necklace will degrade and disappear after I use it 8 times. So I'm going to start off by making some games necklaces and use those to teleport to Turiel. But ideally I would like to get a combat bracelet so I could just keep teleporting to him without having to make more jewelry. But the problem with that is a combat bracelet requires 74 crafting, and so I would need to get my crafting up to 70 and then boost it to get the 4 levels. I already have the pie for the boost, but 70 crafting would be quite a while. That would cost a lot more of my GP stack, and I'd have to mine a lot more sand. But I think I will do that before too long. But for now, I'm just going to use these games necklaces, and you can see I've made quite a few of them here, and that should last me a while. So let's go ahead and get to Turiel and start doing this Turiel boosting and see how it goes. So you can see I've teleported to Birthrope here, and let's run down here. And so our first Turiel task is just 11 cave bugs, which is extremely easy to do below the Lumbridge Swamp. So just kill those. And all right, there's the last cave bug, and let's go back to Turiel. So use my games necklace again, come over to Turiel, and 31 monkeys. I can do that just in the zoo in Ardougne. So really, I'm not going to show all these, but you get the idea. I can do some fast tasks here, and then after I get to 9 completions, then I'm going to head over to Konar and get a real task that I can do. So I'm gonna just work on that and get some Slayer levels and hopefully keep banking some prayer XP as I go. I think that's it for this episode. We have some fun stuff coming soon with Slayer, and then again, once I get some more prayer levels, I'm gonna head back to Barrows and just sit there for a long time, which should give you guys some really good giveaways and a lot of fun content. But for now, I'm gonna take a break here. I am going to put out my Ulm guide next, so I'm gonna work on that. And then I also do have a business trip I'm going on next week as well, so I'm gonna have a little bit of time off, but it shouldn't be too long and it shouldn't delay my videos too much. But yeah, look forward to a solo Ulm guide and then look for more content on Forks. He's making some really good progress and I'm excited to just get into the Slayer grind. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate all the support still. If you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button. I'm getting closer to 1,000. I would like to get there in the next couple months. So yeah, again, thanks for watching. I appreciate it and have a good one.